Dear students, my name is Nosheen Nizami, and in today's session we are going to discuss the trends of unemployment rate and related concepts in India and across the world. So this topic is a part of chapter 5, which is on unemployment, and let me show you some data which has been collected in one of the rounds of NSSO, which is National Sample Survey Organization. So you can see that this is a table showing data of unemployment rate as part of percentage of labor force, and there are three methods that have been highlighted here using which the unemployment rate has been measured. One is usual principal status, current weekly status, and current daily status. So, as you know, usual principal status calculates rate of unemployment on the basis of majority time period. So, in whichever activity a person has spent majority time during the last 365 days, that is considered as a decision variable to classify him as employed or unemployed, or in the labor force or outside the labor force. Current weekly status is based on a weekly time criterion. So a reference week is taken in which if a person is not employed even for 1 hour, is considered to be unemployed. And current daily status examines the prevalence of unemployment on a daily basis. So if a person has not got work even for 1 hour in a day in the reference week, accordingly the person is classified as unemployed. So using these approaches, you can see the unemployment rates vary. The data is from 1972-73 to 2011-12, and you can see that unemployment rate is lowest. It is lowest for all the years for usual principal status approach. So usual principal status approach is a very broad approach because it calculates unemployment firstly on the basis of majority time criterion, which is known as principal activity, and secondly on the basis of subsidiary activity. So any person who has worked for at least 1 month in the whole year in the preceding 365 days would be classified as employed as per the usual principal status. So generally you will see that the pattern looks similar to what is there in this table. So unemployment rate is lower as calculated by usual status approach than what is calculated for current daily status and current weekly status. Now current weekly status is showing rate of unemployment in 1972-73 as 4.32% of labor force, and current daily status is showing 8.35%. So on a comparative note, you can see these figures match. They are quite similar for all the years. For 2011-12 current weekly status data is not available, but by current daily status unemployment rate is quite high compared to what is measured by usual principal status. So 5.6% unemployment rate as compared to 2.7% rate of unemployment by usual status approach. So this data basically shows that unemployment rate is comparatively higher when measured using current daily status approach than when measured by weekly status approach, because daily status approach is a narrower definition of rate of unemployment, and that is how the results also vary. So let us move to our next data, which is showing all the variables and all the data as per the current weekly status approach. So this entire table is a data of current weekly status, and all the results are per 1000 distribution of usually employed by the broad currently weekly status. So you have data for male and female. This is gender wise data, and the time period is from 2004-5 to 2009-10 and then to 2011-12. So you can see that in the first column we have data for employed, unemployed, not in labor force, and all. So how to read or examine this data? For that, this entire data is per 1000 persons, and out of 1000, if you have to analyze for 2004-5, out of 1000 persons, 958 were found to be employed. Out of 1022 persons were unemployed, and 21 persons are not in labor force, so they are outside labor force. So basically, when we analyze this using per 1000 persons, it just says in general that on a given day, out of any 1000 persons, you would find, say for females, you can say for 2011-12, 828 females who are employed, 14 females who are unemployed, and 158 females who are not in labor force. That means they are in the economically active age group, but they are not in the labor force. Now the data for rural and urban is divided like this. So if we have to compare similarly for urban areas, in 2011-12, out of 1,986 persons, 986 males were employed as compared to 939 females. 8%, or you can say 8 persons out of 1000 were unemployed as compared to 10 females, and 6 males were out of labor force as compared to 50 females. So you can see that in a way unemployment rate is also high among females, and even more number of females are out of labor force. So this shows the picture, the current picture of Indian economy as per the data of NSS report collected in 68th round, and the data has been sourced from NCAR 2019. So these kinds of tables are generally published by NSSO in their reports, and they all show this data in terms of per 1000 persons. Let's move further, and I'll show you some other data which is as per daily status approach. So the previous data was based on on weekly status approach, and this is based on daily status. So the data is in similar pattern. We have male and female wise data, so it's gender wise data along with a distribution for rural and urban areas. On a quick note, I can just analyze for the years 2011 and 12 by comparing them. So in 2011-12, in rural areas, 927 persons for every 1000 persons were found to be employed, compared to 966 persons for every 1000 male, and similarly 677 females were found to be employed in rural areas against 852 females per thousand of labor force in urban areas. We can also compare gender wise. So 36 males were found to be unemployed in the year 2011-12 against 28 females who were found to be unemployed in 2011-12. 36 males were not in labor force against 295 females who are not in labor force in rural areas. While in urban areas, 16 persons were found to be out of labor force against 131 females who were found to be out of labor force. So this data is also of NSS, compiled in the 68th round, and has been taken from NCAR report. So that's how you can read the unemployment data for every 1000 distribution of person days usually employed. Let's move to figures which show us some more data about the global unemployment rate. So this slide is basically displaying global unemployment rate from 2000 to 2020, and you can see that in the year 2000, global unemployment rate was 5.5%. It increased in 2003, then it has fallen. It has fallen in 2006-2008, which were actually relatively good years in terms of world GDP also. But then in 2008 there was recession, because of which in the period 2009-10 unemployment again increased above 5.5%, so around 5.6%. And since then it has been having a downward trend, and in 2020 it stands at around 4.9 or 4.8%. So these are the unemployment rate data for all the countries together. So it's a world unemployment rate. Let's move to some more figures which explain some other indicators. So labor force participation rate has been explained gender wise, male and female, and this data is for Southeastern Asia, which includes India. The data is from 2000 to 2011. Data has been gathered for various variables: labor force participation rate, labor force in millions, while labor force participation rate basically is an expression in terms of percentage. Employment to population ratio, so out of total population, how much is employed? Employment in millions, unemployment rate in percent, unemployment in millions, rate of labor underutilization, which indicates underemployment in percent. Potential labor force basically is a very positive term generally used for people who are out of labor force. So starting with labor force participation rate, which basically examines that how much in the economically active age group, how many people are actually a part of labor force. So if we just check the data of 2011, it is 68.6, and labor force participation rate is higher for males against females. Males, 80.5% of males were found to be in labor force against 56.8% of females. The total labor force figures are these. So female, if you have to check just the values, 133.5 million females were part of labor force against total 318.9 persons in millions. Employment to population ratio is 66.4 in 2011, and it has remained more or less steady since 2000. Employment in millions also has increased over a period of time. Unemployment rate in 2011 was found to be 3.1, and it was more or less similar across both the genders, and this has fallen from the year 2000, which is a good news. Similarly, rate of labor underutilization, underemployment rate was found to be 6.7% overall, 5 for males and 9 for females. That means female workers were found to be more underemployed. Potential labor force was 12.3 overall millions, out of which 8.6 millions females were found to be out of labor force, and they could be potentially included in the labor force. So this data has been taken from ILO database, which is International Labour Office Statistics Database, in their report Trends 2019. Let's move to the last slide, which basically gives a snapshot of the global labor market in 2018. So this pie chart is basically showing that the potential labor force is 140 million, while the total unemployed across the world is 172 million. Outside of extended labor force is 2 billion, and working age population is 5.7 billion. Now out of this, what is the distribution between employers, between wage and salaried workers, own account workers, which are basically self-employed and having small businesses like the vendors, and contributing family workers, who are generally not accounted in the books of account, but they do contribute in work. So 3% were found to be employers, while 52% were waged and salaried workers. Now, if we have to check the distribution of poor on the basis of employment and unemployment statistics, so non-poor were found to be 74% across the world. That means if they have jobs, then they are out of poverty line, while extremely poor were found to be 10% and moderately poor 16%. If we have to check the quality of employment, quality employment means that if you have a stable job in an organized sector which has a written employment contract, and the rules are also written, so they implement government laws, they follow, and they basically use the government laws and legal practices in the organization, and they have a formal mechanism of working which is declared to the public on either a website or at their entrance gate. So 39% of the total workers were found to be working in formal sector, while 61% was found to be working in informal workers, and this data is for the global labor market. Well, it is slightly different from India because in Indian context formal workers are nearly 10 to 15% only, while the rest 85 to 90% are working still in informal sectors. So this database, which is expressing the data in terms of employed and unemployed, in terms of employers and employees, in terms of non-poor and extremely poor, and in terms of formal and informal, gives a broad picture of what is the scenario of unemployment across the world. And these kinds of statistics can be found again at ILO database in the various reports available online, and also in database published by Government of India, by Ministry of Labour, and even by NSSO. So friends, I hope you could understand how to analyze the unemployment trends in India and the world, and we shall be discussing more about it in our regular classes. Till then, all of you take care and have a good time. Thank you.